I mean, if you go on the Tonight Show now, no one watches. It's like it used to be when Johnny Carson was running the Tonight Show. If you were a comic and you got on the Tonight Show, you would be headlining clubs all across the country because 20 million people were watching.
Yeah.
And if you had a big splash with like a great routine and they'd go, hey, he's going to be at the Charlotte Funny Bone tomorrow night, and then people would go see you. And it was the best way for comics to get discovered was the Tonight Show. Now it's a non-starter. It does nothing. It does nothing.
What's the best way to get discovered now? Just like
Podcasts, 100%.
what
YouTube videos, TikTok videos, podcasts. I mean, there's guys like this guy I had on the other day, Ralph Barboza, very talented young comedian. Just started putting some stuff out on TikTok. Went from being a guy who was trying to get opening acts, like he was trying to like middle for friends like my friend Brian Simpson and some other comics that were more established, to all of a sudden selling out like 5 shows in a row on a weekend, and then doing theaters and like that. It went from struggling to killing it in over a course of a couple of months.
Yeah, it's like that Matt Rife as well.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
That guy's exploded.
Yeah. And all just from crowd work videos and stuff that he puts on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram.
So in general, maybe it's a stupid question, but people who are at the comedy, it's the Mothership, right? What's it called again? Comedy Mothership?
Yeah.
Okay, so if they're performing there on a semi-regular basis or what have you, what material are people doing new stuff to test it out constantly? Or it's like, what are you doing to not burn through existing stuff that is,
and putting it up on Instagram and stuff like that?
Yeah, because it's like guys like Matt Rife, for example, their crowd work videos go bonkers.
Yeah.
But then I'm assuming that stuff is not part of the actual main thing.
Right.
So, and this is like a totally inept, no idea how this works. That's why I'm totally oblivious and asking like this. But is it only testing new stuff and crowd work at these shows, or like how do you even decide what you should put out when you're doing these
videos?
Yeah, or like even
stuff?
when they're performing at your place, it's like, are they hesitant to use good jokes because it will get used up before they can do a Netflix special or something?
Well, I think what most of these guys are doing is they're filming stuff like especially if you're filming unusual moments in the crowd. Like Andrew Schultz is great at that. He's got a lot of these videos where he's not burning material because it's just a unique situation in the crowd, and he's really good at crowd work. And so he'll put these videos up, but he also has really good stand-up material. Some of these guys are good at working the crowd, but then their material's shitty. Like the best guys are like Andrew. Like Schultz is great at stand-up, like regular stand. His material's brilliant. And also, he's great at fucking around the crowd because he's real loose. So he'll make a lot of videos of just crowd work. Those videos go viral. Then he eventually puts the material together where he puts out a stand-up special. That makes him even bigger. And then it all compounds on each other.
That seems wild how people could be like situationally funny, like context dependent. So that's like, what if you're the guy who's good at crowd work but not have good material, or vice versa?
There are guys like that.
Huh.
Yeah. There's both kinds of guys.
Yeah.
There's guys that are really good at material, and then something happens in the crowd and they fall apart.
Yeah.
That's a crutch too. That's not good. You don't want to be in that situation. You want to be loose.
Yeah.
Or when something goes down, you can go, "What? What are you talking about, man?"
Yeah.
Like, what is it? And for the most part, one of the things that's really good at the club, we keep people from yelling out shit, and we keep people from interrupting. The most important thing is the stand-up and the environment that the comics are able to be comfortable in doing their material, so it's the best show for everybody. So if you get some loud person that just needs a lot of attention, they can distract from the show. I've had guys yell things out, and they completely interrupt a bit that it's got a build point, and they'll stop it right there, and you can't really restart it. So that bit's done now. So you have to abandon it. So you have to stop people from doing that, and you got to kick them out.
I wonder how many people that are trying to come up synthetically create crowd work situations. Like,
I'm sure they do.
Tell their buddy, like, hey, go to the show and yell out this fucking...
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the case. But the best guys don't need that. Like guys like Schultz, he doesn't need that. He doesn't do that. He'll see some interesting couple, and then he'll start talking to them and joking around. And he's super friendly,
Yeah.
and so it feels loose, and they're enjoying. Everyone's smiling, and it's great. It's
No,
a
yeah, I guess
different
you-
skill set.
You can't